President Sisi calls for digitizing Egypt's radio and TV archives. Egypt renews call to end Gaza war and resuming peace talks. And Egypt condemns Israeli approval of 3,400 new settlement units near occupied Jerusalem. These were the headlines, the news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi emphasized the importance of protecting and preserving the heritage of Egyptian radio and television by digitizing all archival audio and videotapes belonging to the National Media Authority. During a meeting with Minister of Communication Amr Talat, head of the National Media Authority Ahmed al-Muslimani, and Presidential Media Advisor Major General Mohsen Abdel Nabi, President Sisi directed the continuation of efforts to develop a global platform for the Quran radio station. This initiative aims to preserve the legacy of Quran reciters and religious chanters, as well as safeguard the many programs that have aired on Quran radio since its establishment in 1964. Egypt has reaffirmed its call to end the war in Gaza and resume peace talks. In a statement, Egypt's Foreign Ministry condemned reports in Israeli media on a so-called Greater Israel, warning of its destabilizing implications and calling for clarifications. Cairo said the rhetoric rejects peace, escalates tensions, and contradicts the aspirations of regional and international actors seeking stability. Egypt reaffirmed that peace can only be achieved through renewed negotiations and an end to the war in Gaza, leading to a Palestinian state on the June 4, 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital, in line with the two-state solution and international resolutions. Egypt has further condemned Israel's approval of 3,400 new settlement units around occupied Jerusalem. Cairo says the move reflects Israel's intent to expand its seizure of Palestinian land and alter the demographic reality in the occupied territories. Egypt also denounced the Israeli finance minister's call to extend sovereignty and expand settlements in the West Bank, describing them as evidence of arrogance and deviation. It warned such actions will undermine regional stability while ignoring Palestinian aspirations. Humanitarian aid trucks entered the Gaza Strip for Palestinians through the sub-gate of the Rafah land port, distant for the Kerm Abu Salim crossing in the southeast of the Strip. An official source at the Rafah land port in North Sinai announced Thursday that the 15th aid convoy is carrying food relief supplies, flour, legumes and essential medical supplies for Gaza, in addition to fuel and personal care items. The source added that the trucks had lined up since early this morning in the Rafah land port yard, preparing to move towards Gaza. This convoy is part of the Zad al-Izzah from Egypt to Gaza initiative, reinforcing Egypt's continuous efforts to provide relief and alleviate the humanitarian crisis affecting over 2 million Palestinians due to the ongoing war. The Egyptian committee in the Gaza Strip has begun distributing thousands of food parcels to Palestinian families across the sector, using local elders, clan leaders and family representatives to ensure the aid reaches those in need wherever they are. The committee commenced its aid distribution operations today. In this context, Sheikh Ha'il Abu al-Hussein, Representative of Gaza's tribes and clan leaders expressed his gratitude and appreciation to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the Egyptian people for their continuous support of the Palestinian cause on all fronts. He affirmed that Egypt has never abandoned the Palestinian people and has always been a steadfast protector of the Palestinian cause. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration Badr Abdulati said that Egypt neither accepts nor allows any irresponsible decision by the Israeli government. He added in televised statements that Egypt's stance is clear, said that Egypt is exerting its utmost effort. He added that Egypt has the full potential if there is good faith on the part of the Israeli side and the Palestinian side, represented by Hamas, to reach a deal that would halt the war and the ongoing systematic starvation campaign against the Gaza Strip. Egypt's foreign minister says strong historical ties and coordination with South Africa are boosting bilateral relations and joint cooperation. In a phone call with South Africa's Foreign Minister, Minister Badr Abdulati discussed ways to strengthen ties in multiple fields alongside regional and international issues, especially as South Africa holds the G20 presidency. Abdulati reaffirmed Egypt's readiness to work with South Africa on development projects across sectors, leveraging the expertise of Egyptian companies. Egypt is intensifying talks with various parties to resolve disputes and reach a truce that could end the war on Gaza. Al-Qahira News reports Egypt is stepping up communications to bridge disagreements and secure a ceasefire in Gaza. A Hamas delegation in Cairo has praised Egypt's efforts in delivering aid and pursuing a truce. The channel says meetings between the delegation and Egyptian officials are still underway. Jordanian newspapers continue for a second consecutive day to highlight the outcome of the Egyptian-Jordanian Joint Higher Committee meetings. The reports focus on the signing of 9 agreements, memorandum of understanding, and executive programs spanning multiple fields. Analysts and experts affirmed the strategic dimensions of this partnership and its role in fostering economic and political integration between the two countries. Egypt and Namibia are looking to strengthen cooperation in pharmaceutical regulation and capacity building. Egyptian Drug Authority Chairman Ali Al-Ghamrawi and the Namibian ambassador discussed potential collaboration with Namibia's Medicines Control Council, focusing on regulatory expertise exchange, technical support, and mechanisms to ensure the quality and efficacy of medicines in both countries. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli witnessed the signing ceremony of a contract to establish a new tire manufacturing plant by Chinese Ceylon Group. The high-level industrial project will be built over 3 phases with the Teda Egypt Industrial Zone in Ain Sukhna, a fully integrated area under the Suez Canal Zone. The project spans an area of 350,000 square meters with total investments estimated at £50 billion and will be implemented over 3 years. The first phase of the plant will produce 3 million passenger car tires and 600,000 truck and bus tires. Ministry of Social Solidarity said that it will begin disbursing August payments under the Takaful and Karama cash support program on Friday, August 15th, covering 4.7 million low-income families. The total value of the disbursement exceeds 4 billion Egyptian pounds, the ministry said. Beneficiary can access funds through the bank ATMs nationwide starting Friday morning and may also use the payment for electronic purchases, bill payments, and government services. The Supreme Energy Council held its 23rd meeting to discuss providing infrastructure and energy for 15 new industrial projects as well as increasing capacity of existing facilities. Approved projects include new solar glass factories, a complex for producing chemically derived sodium sulfate plants to extract potassium chloride and boramine from seawater, the relocation and construction of an ammonia plant, and the addition of new production lines to existing factories. The Council confirmed that electricity and natural gas supplies will be secured to support these ventures, which are expected to boost industrial output and attract investments. Egypt's public business minister says developing the pharmaceutical sector is a strategic priority for health, security and the national economy. During a meeting to approve the 2025-2026 budget for the holding company for pharmaceuticals, the minister outlined plans to modernize production lines, adopt global manufacturing technologies and enhance product quality. The strategy includes boosting workforce skills, implementing strict health and safety standards, and expanding domestic and international market competitiveness. Authorities say these initiatives aim to increase production exports and the value of strategic pharmaceutical products. Dr. Ashraf Subhi, Egypt's Minister of Youth and Sports, met with India's newly appointed ambassador to Cairo, Suraj K. Reddy, to discuss strengthening bilateral cooperation in youth, sports and technology. The meeting focused on areas of mutual interest, including artificial intelligence, software development and expanding activities at the Indian Cultural Center. The two sides also explored sports exchange programs in disciplines where both nations excel. Dr. Subhi welcomed Ambassador Reddy, who took office on May 25, 2025, highlighting the strong history of collaboration and the potential for new initiatives to benefit Egyptian youth. The discussion underscores the ministry's commitment to expanding international partnerships that enhance youth and sports programs across Egypt. Mohamed Salah will join Egypt's national team camp in September ahead of World Cup 2026 qualifiers against Ethiopia and Burkina Faso. Liverpool star Mohamed Salah will leave England on September 1st to join Egypt's camp starting September 2nd. Head coach Hussam Hassan has called up 5 foreign-based players for the qualifiers, including Salah, Omar Marmoush, Mustafa Mohamed, Hamdi Fathi and Ibrahim Adel. Egypt leads Group A with 16 points after 6 matches remaining unbeaten. That's the end of our news bulletin for this hour. Here is a quick recap of today's Egyptian bulletin. Sisi calls for digitizing Egypt's radio and TV archives. Egypt renews call to end Gaza war and resuming peace talks. And Egypt condemns Israeli approval of 3,400 new settlements units near occupied Jerusalem. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. Many thanks for watching.